Okay.
You're live.
All right. Yay, y'all give Bill another hand. Yes. I love you. Thank you. Okay, this is boot camp 2, and I'm going to try, I wish I had an X on the floor because I know I'm going to keep wanting to walk over towards you guys, and we're trying to have this going live so that either our sisters that couldn't be here tonight or that go back and click on the link later will be able to access some of this information. So it's going to make me a little nuts, but I can do it. I can be strong.
You just shout out eggs.
There you go. And if I start going this way, yeah, okay. And you guys help yourself to a bottled water. There's waters in the fridge. Make yourself comfortable. And I really commend you guys for being here tonight because, you know, I know there's some funny weather in the forecast and all of that. But this is one of those things where, you know, you show up to go up, and right this second it's dry, and we plan on wrapping it up and getting y'all home before the weather hits. So, you know, meetings are not mandatory, but the kind of the magic that happens here is just coming together, gaining encouragement. You know, seeing Janice with her $200 week, and meeting our new consultants, Naomi and Sarah, and to have Monica introduced her very first team member. I mean, those kind of things encourage all of us. And the things that I'm going to talk about today are just so pivotal to the success of your business. I did record Bootcamp 1, and that had a lot of, I feel like, some good foundational information for all of you. Will you make it just a little bit cooler in here? It was cold when I first got in here, but now it's like, but so let's let her rip. I've got tons of notes here, and these are things that I get lots and lots of questions about, and again, that I feel like is really going to help you. Okay, so here we go. Okay, bye. Thank you. I love you. Okay, the very first thing that I want to touch on is excellence in customer service. And we already talked about this a little bit, but you guys, you know, I believe with all my heart we have the best product on the market, and our customers are getting such an amazing value. But what keeps them from going and purchasing another good product out there is us. We're the magic ingredient. Like I say, every time I do an interview, we're like a trusted hairdresser that you go back to over and over and over again. And so if our customers ever get the vibe from us that well, you know, I'm not going to order for another couple weeks or whatever, can you wait? No, you don't ever do that. This is an instantaneous society. People are used to getting instant service, and we need to, number one, work on building our inventory on a not a catalog basis, but a supply and demand basis, really watching for the trends and what are the most popular products so we can try to make that instantaneous sale. And if not, we need to be set up with our website and our ProPay and stay active so that we can direct ship and get stuff to people ASAP. That's so impressive to them, and it ties them to us. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a customer that she put a pretty big, well, not big, but like $100 order online, and it's been like 2.5 weeks and she still hasn't gotten it. So, like, I already got my orders from the party that was like 2 days before that.
There's an issue. There's something wrong.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Call
the company. Okay. Call the company. When you do a customer delivery service order, it should hit their doorstep within 3 days.
Yeah, that's what I told her.
Yeah.
She still hasn't.
There's somehow it's gotten lost. So yeah, call the company, and that number is 1-800-272-9333. Anytime you have any issues, that's consultant customer service, and they are totally there to help us with things like that. So I'm glad that you said that, because yeah, that's not, it should never ever take that. It's gotten lost somehow or stolen or something's gone wrong, and they will help you. Consultant customer service will help you with that.
That's the number I keep.
I know it's a word. Now, so here's the thing, because some of us, Mary Kay, maybe it's a side thing. I mean, some of us we're lifers. We're making a career out of it. Some of us it's a side thing or anywhere in between. I really want to encourage you to not have an all or nothing mentality. No matter what, if you have 5 customers, treat those 5 customers like the queen of the world. And if you have 500 customers, treat those 500 customers like the queen of the world. And because the thing that will happen is they will trust you, they will love you, they will respect you, and they will want to do business with you personally because you're offering them such a great product at such a great price. And they will refer people to you. I don't want to crow on myself, but you know, by God's grace and by a little bit of effort and elbow grease with this Faisal area sell-a-thon, I haven't even had the opportunity to sit down and add everything up, but I know I've exceeded that $1,000 in retail sales. And you know, somebody posted, you know, oh well, good for you, you know, but you know, there's that saying, the harder I work, the luckier I get. Not that I believe in luck, but when we show commitment, because everybody knows somebody that tried something for a while, the latest fad, the latest thing to make a quick buck or whatever. But the longer we show commitment and we show I'm in business, you know, you are my top priority. I'm gonna get you what you need right away. And we exude that. They're going to trust us, they're going to love us, and they're going to come back over and over and over again. So really it was just a matter of a few text messages, a group email, some specific phone calls, and I mean, it was just like the floodgates open. So yes, never taken away from the grace of God and his provision, but this is a long time of continued commitment and like hustling. Like they need an eyeliner, I will hustle to get them that eyeliner. You know, you don't ever want to be like, well, you know, that's just small order, I don't want to have to pay to ship it, I don't have to take the time to drive. No, if you will show them, like, if what you need, that is my top priority, I am here to be of service to you, that's what's gonna, when they're out of whatever it is, beauty products that they're gonna buy somewhere, their brain is going to automatically go to you, like you're their go-to person. Okay, and again, I just want to touch on building your inventory. If you love where your inventory is, on the last webcast we talked about splitting your money and making sure you have those 2 separate accounts and setting aside 60% for reordering and 40% for your profit. And then in your online banking, really tracking Mary Kay profit. Again, don't be all or nothing. The Bible says, do not despise the small beginnings, for the eyes of the Lord rejoice to see the work begin. If you steward $10, he's gonna, if you steward properly the little, you're gonna be blessed with more. That's a biblical principle. And so with every dollar, every $10, every $20, if we steward it properly, we'll be entrusted with more. And so, but let's say, and then then it's motivating, because money in and of itself doesn't motivate me. But when I see, you know, the choices that money buys for my family and the things that I can do with that, that motivates me, like, hey, this is like, I'm doing this for a reason. You know, there's a lot of great, fun, wonderful benefits about my Mary Kay, but at the end of the day, it pays the mortgage, you know, so yay. So that's where you want to denote in your profit account, and if that's your personal checking, that's fine, but you always want to put in that subject line, Mary Kay profit, Mary Kay profit, Mary Kay profit. That way you can go back over a month, over 3 months, over 6 months, over a year, and see what that profit money did for your financial situation. And taking it one step further, having a very specific financial goal every month of what you want your Mary Kay profits to go towards. So whether it's, you know, Sarah, you know, is mission trips. Well, I know several of the girls here are mission trips, but it could be an amount you set aside, you know, like some of you rent an apartment. Maybe it's an amount you set aside every month for a down payment on a house. Maybe it's a, hey girl, maybe it's an amount you set aside for a trip, or you know, like Monica paid off a credit card that I'm really pumped, you know, that's exciting. So whatever, student loans, a trip, presents for grandchildren, whatever it is, you know, well, Jan's like, they got enough of that. No, I'm just kidding. But so that way you can go back and say, this is what I did with my Mary Kay profits, because sometimes it's super fun and you're eating a cookie and drinking a coffee and just having a great connection. And sometimes you're breaking a little sweat and hauling your bags and, you know, feeling a little worn down. But it's in those moments where you can say, you know, I know why I'm doing this. Okay. And that connects again. I can't say enough. And I already touched on this in the other one, but to really connect with what is your purpose? Why do you love your Mary Kay? It might be several different reasons, but to actually write that down in black and white, and then create a vision board, even if it's just a little vision board like that one over there in the frame. It doesn't have to be some big poster board size, but a vision board where you can go back to and really connect with the heart of why you're doing what you're doing. Again, that will motivate you as well. Okay. And again, so let me see this. So let's say you don't love where your inventory is. Then maybe for the next couple months, maybe put 80% into building to ordering and set aside 20% profit. So you're still putting gas in your gas tank or setting a certain amount of money aside in savings, but you're getting your store built up a little bit. And never catalog order. You always want to order by supply and demand. So listen to what people are asking for. Watch for the trends. Like again, I'd rather have 4 beige 1 mineral powders than 4 different colors of mineral powder foundation. Okay, so because those beige ones are like oil-free eye makeup removers. I don't know if people drink that stuff or what, you know, but you know, so you don't want to catalog order. You don't want to try to have one of everything. You want to have several of what you know are the most important things to your clients: black eyeliners, lash love mascaras, foundation primer. Eliza has people on the foundation primer. She's like a crack dealer, this woman with that stuff. Okay. So maybe take a couple months and do an 80-20 or a 70-30 split. And then after 30 days or 60 days, reevaluate and say, okay, am I happy with where my store is? And then eventually get on that 60-40 split. Okay, y'all with me on that? And again, I cannot say enough. Make it your goal. If you do not have your website and your pro pay, that is so mandatory. And again, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but it breaks my heart every time the company talks about the success rate of consultants that have that website. And I can tell you over the last few years, consistently $7,000 to $9,000 of my sales comes through that website, you guys, every year. It will pay for itself within the first order. You've got to get it, and you've got to promote it. And by promoting it, you know, again, you can link it to that social publisher. And if you don't have that set up, that is brilliant marketing. That is a business Facebook page. If you go into your InTouch site under business tools and digital zone, it literally gives you step-by-step on how to do that. The neat thing about that business page is you ask your social media friends to like your business page, and the cool thing about that is they're inviting basically your Mary Kay advertisement and marketing into their news feed. That's not all. Then Mary Kay manages that for you, because I always held back from setting that up because I thought, I don't want to neglect it, and then it's like, you know, nothing's been posted since December. But Mary Kay posts on your behalf. It's like having a virtual assistant, and it's totally free. And their posts plug your website, your link to your website. And then you also have the ability to go in there and put, you know, your own little things too as well. So that's like free marketing, because I try to keep my social media. I will post some Mary Kay things maybe a couple times a month, but I just don't want to just be like, Mary Kay, you know, I want it to be inspirational. I want it to be about my life and my family. And because of that, it's soft marketing where it draws people to you instead of an attacking feeling. It's an attraction. And also in your Instagram profile and your Facebook profile, there's a place for you to drop your Mary Kay website, and make sure you put it in there so that it creates a link. Don't just put marykay.com/C Higginson, put www.marykay.com marykay.com/C.Higginson, and then that'll make a link. It makes me crazy. I see you guys sometimes post a partial thing and it doesn't create a link. So make sure you do the www dot. And I know, look, it's like My Fair Lady. I mean, the fact that I have an iPhone and I even know what I'm doing tech-wise is because of Bill. But like, if I can learn, you guys can learn, and you got to learn. We watched a little video years ago of Mary Kay Ash, you know, when email started to become popular, which I know sounds like the dinosaurs, but she was sitting down with her little glasses on her nose and had her tech person next to her, and she's like, I want to learn this new technology. This is important. This is imperative for the success of our business going forward. So if she can do it, if I can do it, y'all can do it. And you got to, because it'll help you so much. Like, I know Naomi has already started to gain customers from outside this area, which is so exciting. You know, Aretha, getting that website set up, man, your Atlanta people will be rocking that for you. So it just totally expands your business nationwide when you've got that. Okay. Okay. I want to switch gears and talk a little bit about, again, the practice makes perfect faces, because I know sometimes, well, I know because I've lived it, and I hear what you guys I hear what y'all tell me, and you know, I love Mary Beisel. I would just follow her off the edge of a cliff. But you know, she was already a sales director with a very large unit when I came into Mary Kay, so it was kind of like, here's your training, now go do it. And I'm so glad for that. You know, but I think that's why I tend to go, okay, let me go with you, you know, because I remember how that felt. But but it made me stronger, you know, because with every appointment, I would go, and then there's waters in the little cooler if you need one. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, you're fine, you're totally fine. But in the little fridge, help yourself, sweetie. And in those little drawers, there's go in behind the counter. There you go, and just go in that little fridge, and there's napkins in the little drawers. But with each appointment, you know, I would experience, you know, reading the thing. I mean, my very first facial was with my neighbor and her mom. And I mean, I was just literally read the thing with my fingers shaking and squirted the stuff in the thing. And they bought like $200 of product from me. So right there, I was like, that was a confidence builder. Like, I read the thing, I squirted the thing, you know. And then my second facial was with a friend of mine, and I went through the whole thing, read, squirted, and she said, you know, write down everything I tried, and I'll get back with you. And so I experienced that, you know, there wasn't a sale right then. The next day she called me back and ordered what is the equivalent of our queen set today, which I think back then was more like $150. But so that helped me learn, okay, what happens that night isn't the end of the story. You know, so I learned that sometimes I rocked a party and it was super fun. Sometimes dogs barked and babies screamed, and it's okay, because I saw the pattern of then referrals, and then reorders, and then the chain of people, and then the people that were interested in doing what I wanted to do. So I didn't, it didn't rattle me, but it was in just the doing. And again, sometimes it was perfect. Sometimes it made for hilarious. I'm not going to tell y'all some hilarious craziness stories, you know, but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? 8 free cars later, who cares? I mean, it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Okay, the dog barked and I broke a sweat and the TV was gone and I needed a Ritalin, you know, but it doesn't matter. Everybody had fun. They, you know, and at the end of the day, who cares? And let me tell you, as you guys know, I worked full-time retail when I started Mary Kay 20 years ago. So we're talking a 2 to 10:30 shift, not being able to go to church because I worked 11 to 7s on Sunday. So going somewhere for a couple hours, listen to someone's dog bark, and you know, build my future is just fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the value of breaking a little sweat and a little elbow grease won't kill me, and it'll, you know, pay me. Because again, if one of the most important things about being any kind of entrepreneur is to remember that some of us come from a background of working, you know, our parents maybe worked by the hour or salary. They had a set pay for a set day's work or hour or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. some of us come from a background where our parents were entrepreneurs. So we saw that, sometimes, sometimes it was a little feast or famine, but sometimes what they did today showed up 6 months from now, 6 years from now. And so if we can understand that what we do every single day, sometimes we're going to rock it and we're going to see that big result. I mean, again, I've had $1,000, over $1,000. I need to sit down and add it up in the last few days in sales. But sometimes, you know what? And I wish I could go back and tell you the story of every single one of those customers, because there's several people that just ordered big over the last few days that I've maybe called 3 times over the last 6 months saying, hey, I'm just checking in, want to make sure you're okay on your product. And they said, you know what, I'm okay on my product. I don't need anything right now. And instead of me saying, oh, see, I called them and they just don't even want what I had. No, I was just checking in. They just weren't in the market for what I had to offer right that second. But with professional persistence and showing them I'm committed to you, I'm going to keep checking in with you, then it just all hit at once and $1,000 in 3 days. So if we can have that long-term vision as opposed to demanding that immediate gratification in the moment, and sometimes we'll get that immediate gratification, but if we can have the mindset of what I'm doing right now is going to, if I keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, it's going to show up, show up, show up, show up. So, Sarah and Monica are sitting here as a result of not only a friendship with Sarah's mom for, ever since Nathan was a toddler, so over a decade friendship, but, Ellen has watched me be committed to my Mary Kay business for those 10 years. And so she trusted to connect me with Monica when Monica started talking about wanting an opportunity with cosmetics and ministry. And then she also trusted to refer me to her daughter. That was over a long period of time. I've been hearing Monica's name for a year, and I've been hearing your name for ever since you were 18 years old. So, so I didn't just say, well, Ellen's just full of it, I'm just never going to get together with these ladies, whatever. I was like, no, and I just kept servicing Ellen as a customer and giving her great service, and then now here is the fruition of that. So see, have that long term, and same with Naomi. I mean, I facialed you and your mama, 100 years ago when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Okay, so, and let me just say that one more. Let me touch on image one more time, because I know I did in the last one, but image isn't high heels and skirts and pantyhose. Image is yes, your Mary Kay face, but it might be a more natural look. It might be a little bit of a heavier look, but it's clean, it's sharp, it's your style, but it's more warmth, friendliness, commitment, professionalism, and attracting people to you rather than making people feel attacked, both personally and professionally. I mean, we talk about mean mugging, we've been laughing about that lately, but I mean, sometimes when I'm on a mission and I'm going through Walmart and I want people to get out of my way, I got 20 minutes. Well, I hardly ever go to Walmart anymore. Target is probably a better, more accurate thing. But, I've got 20 minutes before I have to go pick up my kids, and I'm just, just get out of my way on a mission, and like that is not, there's missed opportunities there. I need to warm myself up a little bit and smile and be warm and be open to, connections that God might have for me instead of mowing people down, right? Unless I don't have my makeup on. I'm just kidding. But nobody play that. But, I mean, it's real life. You know what I'm saying? But it's a warmth. It's a connect. Janice is so good about that. She attracts people wherever she goes. People love her. They trust her. They know she is a woman of her word. She quietly serves and works so hard without ever trying to say, look at me, I did this, never wanting the recognition. And because of that, again, people trust you. And so that's why when you started your Mary Kay business, people say, oh, Janice is so lucky. She just had a bunch of people buying for. No, Janice had already established a reputation as a woman that can be counted on, a woman of integrity. And because of that, when Janice announced I've started my Mary Kay business, people automatically wanted to support her. Now, does everybody, you know, have people said no to you? Of course they have. But, you know, you also, and look, if you don't hear anything else I say, you guys, the only difference from where I am in my business and where you guys are in your business is more people have said no to me. More people have canceled on me. More people have disappointed me and let me down. And I didn't let that stop me. Because if you keep going and you don't tie your emotions to it, and you just say, you know what, that person just was not in the market for what I was offering. And again, you kind of disconnect and say, okay, that's not where I'm supposed to put my energy. That's not where I'm supposed to put my focus. So Lord, who is my focus? Who is my assignment? And instead of focusing on who said no, Arlene Lenars, who was one of the top national sales directors, and I had just the privilege of just watching every pore on that woman's face when she would train and when she would do events and everything. She's the one that retired having made $11 million in her career. Her retirement pay, on top of that, you guys, $47,000 a month for the next 13 years. And so, you know, and again, that's not materialism. That's like funding orphanages. I mean, there's so much you could do with that. You know what I'm saying? But she said at a training, she said, write this down and put it by your phone. She said, the no's will never hurt you, but the yeses will make your world. And so again, if somebody says no to you, that just means, hey, no problem. You know what? If you end up being in the market for what I'm offering, feel free to give me a holler. It doesn't have to be this weird, icky, bad feeling thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll be amazed at how maybe a sassy chick in her 20s, you know, she's like, look, I'm happy with my Dove soap and I don't give a rip, you know, where all of a sudden 5 years later, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a little nervous here. Maybe I need to start doing a little age preventative. And if you treated her with kindness, she's going to think, you know what, I bet so-and-so with Mary Kay would be just the person to reach out to. So when you're planting seeds like that, or maybe somebody's ultra impressed, you know, I use brand XYZ, you know, I use, you know, Lancome or whatever, all great products. But you know what, maybe all of a sudden she goes through a divorce or she goes through a hard economic time. And now all of a sudden, you know, that's not in the budget, but she still wants good products. Again, you treated her with kindness. So our market is always fluxing. A no isn't a no forever. It's not personal. Release it. Because, you know, it's the old proverbial thing of I always tell this goofy, but it'll make sense. Like the fox that sticks its hand in to grab the grapes out of and he's just grasping for the grapes in the jar, and he's got a hold of it, and he's holding tight, and then he can't get his hand out. And he's got to release it so that he can be free. So we're holding on to something where there's not going to be the fruit. Let go of it, because the fruit it's unlimited, you guys. It's out there. It's unlimited. So y'all with me? Woo! Okay. So okay. Practice makes perfect. So you learn by doing. Here's my challenge to every single one of you. Modify as needed. This is my personal goal. My personal goal is to do it by May 20th. But if you want to take till May 30th or 31st, I guess 30th, is 30 faces in the next month. 30 faces. Now that can be one blessed face at a time if you want to wear yourself out like that, or it can be 5 faces of 6, or it can be, you know, 5 groups of 6, or it can be, you know, 10 groups of 2, or however you want to do it. But get you a brand new Princess Queen Diva sheet and tell them these are practice makes perfect faces. I really want to sharpen my skills with my Mary Kay business. I'm going to use my notes because I really want this to be sharp and tight. And in doing that, if you will take that challenge, you guys, the sales, the bookings, all of that are going to be phenomenal. Your skills are going to sharpen because you're going to learn, you know, you don't have to book all 30. Book a key group and then ask for referrals, and that'll help, and book up early in the month, and that'll help that train go through the rest of the month of new people. But it's also, you're going to feel like an expert on matching foundation. You're going to know your favorite colors to pick for people. It's in the doing that you learn. I mean, I could put makeup tutorials. I could sit here and do makeup on you, for you, in front of you. all day long, but until you guys go and actually present it, and you'll walk away and go, whoops, I kind of did that funny. Okay, now I know next time not to do that. Or, man, that worked really well. I know to repeat that. Or, you know, and again, I could tell you a million funny stories, you know, driving 25 minutes away and leaving my mirrors at home. You know, I mean, you know, but it doesn't matter. Being in action, when we're in action, like, stuff happens. When we're in the field, that's where the miracles are. If you're looking for confidence, it's in the field. If you're looking for connection, it's in the field, in the selling field, in action, breaking a little sweat, getting some foundation and some lipstick and some skincare on some people. And you guys have that party pack script, and Kay, make sure that I have your email before we leave here so that you're on my email list, okay? But just take that party pack script and read that sucker and squirt the stuff, and you'll get it. You'll get it. I could sit here and train you till the end of time, and it's not going to be the same as you just going and doing it, okay? So let me know. Let me hear from you, everybody that is willing to take on that 30 Faces challenge. And again, you can do 2 groups of 15, you know, 3 groups of 10, however you want to do it. I mean, I don't recommend that, but, you know, a group of 4 or 5 at a time, or 3, 4, 5, if you're just getting your feet wet, maybe a couple, 2, 3. That's what I did at first, and gain your confidence a little bit. And just go for it. Okay. You guys spend time, and not creative avoidance time, but get familiar with InTouch. This is part of your time management training, is to carve out a couple times a week. And again, if you're on there for hours at a time, then that's imbalance. But schedule yourself to sit down and get from, you know, maybe spend 30 minutes twice a week getting familiar with InTouch. On Product Central, so that you know how to find those product fact PDFs. On My Customers, it is imperative, no matter what your goal in Mary Kay is, to utilize My Customers and the Preferred Customer Program. That is like non-negotiable for success. To learn how to process orders through your websites, and how to, because with your active status and all of that, if you have your website and your ProPay set up, and you're able to have the ability to shoot out those customer delivery service orders, and you're in action, you're done. You're on a roll. Nothing's stopping you. Okay. Okay. I just want to touch on this really, really quick, because I can't remember how much I talked about it in the webinar. Well, I talked about it in the last one. I talked about a little bit, but it is imperative, you guys. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 in the Living Bible, well, maybe 6, says, in everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success. So carve out that time. It is okay to pray about your business. I know sometimes we think, you know, there was just that big earthquake and we need to pray for those people and send money, and you know, there's just so many needs right here in the community that we need to pray for. But it is not selfish, and it's not materialistic to pray about your business. God put you here and gave you these resources. If you go back and read the parable of the talents, where the 3 men were given a measure of talent to multiply, and the ones that took and bought and sold and multiplied what they were given were blessed, and they were given more. And the one who hid the little bit that he had, because he said, you know, the master is cruel and he's going to come back soon anyway, so what's the point? He was harshly punished, you guys. So it's okay to say, you know, and I was so proud, like Monica reached out to me, you know, about how do I tithe the profits on my sale. That's huge, you guys. That's huge. And you know, we talked about, again, we can't earn God's grace and favor, but I believe with all my heart that supernatural activity happens around missions when you have a heart for missions. So, you know, if there's a missionary that you can even send I mean, those missionaries over there, man, if you sent even just a little bit every month with a note of encouragement, if, you know, again, it goes back to, well, what good is, you know, this little bit of money? But if a bunch of us are doing that, or a bunch of, you know, people that are called to do that, there's going to be more than enough for those people. So again, this isn't about materialism, but it's about in that abundance and that overflow, like when our needs are taken care of and our family's squared away, what can we start to do with that overflow? It's huge, you guys. So my suggestion in your time management is to make sure you carve out that time. Maybe it's only 5 minutes at a time or 10 minutes at a time, but every morning, you know, keep a notebook and say, you know, Lord, who should I reach out to? Who is my assignment today? There is an amazing app. It's a free app called the YouVersion Bible app, YOU Version Bible app. And there is devotions, unlimited devotions. It is the most fabulous thing. I've been searching for something like that forever. You know, or just, you know, pick up the Bible, you know, or you know, connect with something inspirational that you can feed your soul and your mind and get your creativity going in a positive way. That's so huge, you guys. Okay, I'm going to totally switch gears, and we're going to talk about the career path. And there is, and I'm kicking myself, I didn't pull, it's steps to success. There is the next time you place a product order, go to section 2 and get you a steps to success pack of, they come in a 5-pack. And I highly suggest, I can't remember what event we were at, but one of the ladies said she literally just took that and used that as her visual and her vision board, basically. Thank you, Chantel. This is an older version of it right here, but basically it's the Steps to Success brochure. And what's cool about this is it shows the cars on the back, and it also shows the career path from beauty consultant all the way to national sales director. So we'll just pass that around, but get you some of these, get you some so that you have a couple for your own vision board, but also so that you have to give away, because it's excellent. It's just, it's detailed without being overwhelming. But I just want to talk to you about the career path for a minute, because again, it's my job. I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm the hostess at an exclusive high-end restaurant. And I tell you where the dessert is, where the prime rib is, where the appetizers are. I get to tell you what's in the big silver things that you lift up. And then it's up to you which of that you want to partake in. But like Arlena Lenars always said, why go to the ocean with a teaspoon, right? And when you're doing both, this business was meant to do both. I mean, whether you want to be a national sales director or not, you can build a strong customer base. And I'll tell you, your business takes on a whole new dimension when you build a team. Gloria Mayfield Banks is a top national sales director who broke records. She spun off 5 offspring national sales directors like that, like as soon as she debuted as a national. Can you just imagine? Isn't that amazing? And she always said, go as far as you can see, and then you'll be able to see further. See, sometimes we look ahead too far, and then I can't, you know, all those bad messages. But you know what? Okay, so maybe you can't see there, but where could you see? And that's what's so brilliant about the career path is you reel it in. I mean, some of us are big vision people, and we see it all played out, and we know how to go A to B or A to Z. And that motivates us. And hey, that is great. Let's grab a hold of that. But some of us need the very next step. And when we go to the next step, then it's like headlights on a car. As you drive along, those lights are going ahead, and you're seeing further and further and further. So obviously, beauty consultant, we're all beauty consultants. We all make 50%. We all have the ability to build a customer base. Starting with your very first team member, when you have one team member, 1 or 2 team members, you're a senior consultant. You're a senior consultant. And when they place their first order and become active, that makes you official. And then whatever they order within a calendar month, you will get a check from the company for 4% of that out of the company's profits, not out of your team member's pocket at all. And so that's the beautiful thing about it. It doesn't take from their sales or their commission in any way. And so it becomes really exciting because again, and you know, I don't ever want to take, some of you have amazing leadership skills, and I don't want to take away from that. My journey was different. I did not think that I could be a leader in any capacity in my life. And so when I had people speaking into my life saying, leadership can be taught. You don't have to be born a leader. You can be taught those skills. It was literally life-changing for me to have my first few team members where it was like, oh man, I kind of got to tighten up here because I want to set a good example. It wasn't that I had to know everything or tell them how to do everything. That's what Mary was for. That's what my sales director was for. But it made me be a little bit more positive and make sure I got my butt to the meeting and encourage them to get to the meeting. And I started to lead by setting an example. And that was life-changing. And some of those team members, sometimes people are in Mary Kay for a season, and sometimes people are in for a lifetime. Like I'm gonna be, God willing, God lets me, make it to the triple digit club, which is my goal. And you're fine. I'm being a mama. I have Altoids in my gold. Oh, there you go. Give her a mint. I'm being a mama. You're totally fine. This is nothing that. A little bit of like, we're good. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Okay. I mean, I'm going to be filling Mary Kay bags, when I'm 90, and I'm like, I love it. Like, I can't imagine my life without my Mary Kay. I just can't imagine. But some people are in for a season, and don't let that break your heart. If you share the business with somebody and they're in for a while, I can promise you whatever they caught from it during that season, what was meaningful to them. I believe that with all my heart. So just let people go through the different seasons. And a lot of times, if they do go, a different path for a while, a lot of times they will come back. They will come back around. So senior consultant is 1 or 2, you make 4%. Red jacket is a star recruiter. It's kind of a magical place to land because statistically wise, from the company, because anybody can kind of accidentally trip over somebody and recruit somebody, you know what I'm saying? But building a team of 3, that's taken some intentionality, and that's going, okay, I did this once, I can do it again, and I want to do it again. I liked this. This was a good feeling. So that's where, we make a fuss over you and have a special debut ceremony and really honor you. Statistically wise with the company, that's a special place to land because you usually go further with your business when you hit that mark. That's where you do get to wear the prestigious red jacket. You make anywhere from 4 to 9% on the orders that your team places with the company. And starting with your 4th team member, when they come in qualified with a 600 or higher, you make a $50 bonus. So yeah, you guys. So all of a sudden, you're building your customer base, and you're utilizing parties and facials and orders and reorders. Now all of a sudden, when my team was small, like 3 to 8 women, my monthly team building checks range between like $100 to $500 a month. That was nice extra income coming in, you guys. That could definitely fund a Disney World savings account or whatever your thing would be. What would you guys just yell out some of the things that you would do with that extra $100 to $500 a month?
My God.
Pay off debt, but nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But here's what I want you to do when you make your vision board. And when you make your vision board, I want you to send me a picture mail of it. Because nothing wrong with having the goal of paying down debt, but there's also got to be, as I'm paying down that debt, or when that debt is paid off, go further than that. What is that going to mean? Then what am I going to take where that money was allocated? What am I going to be able to do with that? And so that's where, because what we focus on magnifies and multiplies. So if we're focusing on debt, that's going to magnify and multiply, even if it's paying off the debt. But if we're focusing on paying off debt because, oh my gosh, then it's going to free me up to XYZ, make your brain and your heart go to XYZ, and then it's going to be motivating. Then instead of, paying the man, it'll be like, yay, I'm one step closer to this. Does that make sense? really learn to train your brain on that. Okay. So that is a star recruiter or red jacket. And it's a big deal. I know, here in our little town and everything, but like when you go to the bigger events and you see the women in their red jackets, you're like, I want a red jacket. Like, I want a red jacket. It's your favorite color. Yay, yay, yay. And it's Eliza's, she's learning for it to be her favorite color. Okay. It's especially hard for Auburn fans, I think, to embrace the red jacket. But, put an Auburn thing on there, whatever. You'll be able to put a tiger on it. Okay. Team leader is especially important. And here's the thing. Yes, we should do the red jacket, but then we should right away be focused on team leader. That way our team members, sometimes there's a little flux and some people are workers and some people are a little slower, but the bigger our team, then, we got something rolling here. But with 5, that really becomes special because that's where you can start to earn 9 to 13% of everything that your team orders. So that's where those commission checks really bump up. And the way that you earn the 13% is when you yourself place a cumulative 600 wholesale in a calendar month, and your 5 people each at least do a 225. That's where you're at 13%. If you're lower than those qualifications, then it's 9% of their orders. Even as a sales director, that's part of my bonuses. When I personally do my 600 wholesale, rarely does a month go by that I don't order at least 600 wholesale, usually more than that. Out of client demand needing to, but I've always got my eye on that. And now my personal team is so large, I really don't have to track it, but every once in a while I'll just kind of double check, do I have at least 5 personals that did a 225 or higher, because on my personal team, I make 13% of their orders on top of my director commissions. So that's something for the rest of your career you'll be able to utilize, you guys. Okay, any questions on that? That's team leader. Okay, now this is a document that I'll email out, but you can also get it off of InTouch. This is CAR and director and qualification requirements. It's a simple sheet that's side by side, because starting when you have 5 active team members in a calendar month, and together your wholesale orders and their wholesale orders add up to 5,000 in wholesale production, you just went on target to earn your free Mary Kay car. So you guys, it's a combination of 4 months building that team of 5 to 14 women. And again, I'll email this out, and I can repeat anything that you want me to repeat.
So you say you have to do the 5,000 for 4 months consecutively before you can get your car?
Well, you can, and again, go as far as you can see. The very first month on target is just 5 active team members, and their orders plus your order equals 5,000. You're on target. You're in car qualification. Yeah. And then from there, you have that month and the next 3 months to total 18,000 in wholesale orders, and build that team to 14 women. And that's that very first car level, that white Malibu, or right now it's a lipstick red Malibu. Yes.
So if somebody did, is that how?
I'm sorry, it's 20,000. I'm sorry, 20,000.
People say, oh, they got their red car in a month. That means that in 1 month, if they did 20,000.
Yes.
Then they get the car. They're not like qualified.
Correct. They did it in 1 month. Exactly. It's 1 to 4 months. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. And again, I'll email out the sheet so you have it in black and white. But again, if you're the kind of person that looks at this and goes, woo, detail, say, what's my first step? My first step is to be a senior consultant. Then my next step is red jacket. My next step is team leader. Go as far as you can see, and then you'll be able to see further. Okay. All the while building that customer base, right? So that you've got your own orders rocking as well, and you're utilizing both avenues of income, and you have the ability to lead and set an example in a very special way that's really rare, I think. So and again, once you qualify for that car, you drive it for 2 years. Now, of course, yes, is there minimum production for your team to hit every month? Of course there is. I mean, how many of you have ever earned or been issued a company car with any company, or know of somebody, or you're married to somebody, or a friend had a company car. No. Like, you know, I know like people from Meyer Real Estate, sometimes they'll issue them a company car. Or like, you know, your husband and my son will get a patrol car. Well, what would happen? Okay, so you're hired at this company and they give you a company car. What would happen if you didn't show up to work for 6 months? You just didn't show up.
They pick up the car.
They pick up the car, right? So it's the same thing. When you earn that Mary Kay car, the company is completely generous on how it all works. But I mean, you got to show up and work and lead and do your thing. Absolutely. Yes, go ahead.
The numbers you're giving us, like the 5,000, 20,000, is that wholesale or
Wholesale. And again, I'll email out this sheet. It has it all right here. All the details are right here. And you can also pull this right off of In Touch as well. But it's all right here. Okay. Y'all with me? I know it's a lot, but do you have any questions, Janice?
No.
You're tracking me. Okay. Now you can opt to either, and again, here's the buffet. Some people are like, I enjoy kind of that assistant management, mid-management position, and I'm just going to kind of keep my team right there. You can do that. You can do that. Some people opt while they're earning their car to also become sales directors. Some people become sales directors first, but I highly recommend, I almost, it's in our area to earn your car first and then become a sales director. And personally, in 2000, I earned my first car as a consultant. And then and I'm not saying do it this way, but I did, 4 months of car and then 4 months of director qualification. But you know what? That made me strong. I was used to hitting those numbers. I knew what it took. And 8 free cars later, I know how to do it, and I know how to show you how to do it if that's your dream. Okay, so but it takes consistency, you guys. You got to show up. You got to show up for work. You can't, just like with any job that you work, and I know I used this as an example the other day, but like, let's say Bill pulled up to the fire station, you had to be there at 7 in the morning, and let's say he sat in the parking lot and thought, well, let me cruise Facebook first, and he's like, I wonder what Disney princess I am, and oh, look at these pictures, and and oh, look at so-and-so went on vacation, and so-and-so bugs me, they're so negative, oh my gosh, and just, whatever. And let's say 2 hours later, he's like, oh, okay, I got that out of my system, let me go on the fire station. They would say, you are fired. Like, what is wrong with you? You cannot just not show up for work. So again, when we treat our Mary Kay business like a business, even if it's small hours a week that we actually put into it, but if we take those few hours and are very intentional with it, it will start paying you like a business. Okay, so important. And I think last time I did the 11-hour plan last boot camp, didn't I? Okay, so the next level on the career path is, well, there's a future director, which is just kind of hovering. It's kind of just in between, and that's where you have 8 active. Is that on there? 8 active future director. That's just kind of an in between. There's really not a change in your commission schedule. It's just that you have the recognition of the scarf, and you've got a little bit bigger team again, so that if somebody's not super active, it's not a big deal because you've got some other workers on that team. Now, if you want to become a sales director, your very next step is to build that personal team to 10 active personal team members. Those are your personal recruits, 10 active. Now, to go into qualification to be a sales director, you have to be a star consultant the quarter before you submit for directorship, because again, they don't want just somebody that can recruit people. They want to know that you know how to sell, that you know how to build a customer base. So star consultant, we talked about that last boot camp, and I'm going to touch on that again because something important that I missed in that I want to revisit with you. So you have to be a star consultant the quarter before, and then you line up your 10 active in the calendar month before going into director qualification. Okay, so when you have your 10 active, then in 1 to 4 months, there's 1 month normals that you can just rock that thing, and why not just rock it in 1 month and be done with it? Why drag it out? Seriously. But you build that team of 10 to a team of 24. Now the magic thing that happens then when you have 10 is, and you submit to the company and you say, I want to become a sales director. Now you plus those 10, everybody that team builds, that counts towards that 24. So let's say 11 of you each recruited 1, you're at 22. And then you recruit a couple more, you're at 24. Okay, so everybody's efforts start helping the team. Now, yes, is there production requirements? Of course there is, because again, they want to know that not only can you lead yourself by your own personal team building and your own personal orders and sales, but that you can show others how to do that as well. And again, that's where me, yay, as the senior digs in there, and I'm working with you, I'm helping you, I'm telling you where you're at, what you need to do. You're not in any of this on your own. If any of you reach out to me and say, all right, I want to go to the next step, Kathy, what step? All right, I want to go to the next step from there. Okay, now we've got my 10 lined up. What do I need to do? Like I told you, 8 months of qualification, 4 months CAR, 4 months DIQ. I was on the phone with Mary Beisel, our national sales director, every morning. We would watch Joyce Meyer. She was in Minneapolis, and it was Central Time Zone. We'd watch Joyce Meyer from 6 to 6:30, and then from 6:30 to 7, we'd pray, and she'd say, get out a piece of paper. This is what you're doing today, okay? And I'm like, okay. So for 8 solid months, she worked with me like that. Now, you will have the benefit of me working with you, but you'll also have our national sales director, Mary. She'll be all over you too, okay? So, if that's your dream, if that's what you want to do, you guys, can you imagine what would it mean for your family to not have a car payment, to have 80% of your car insurance paid, to not have to worry about repairs, you guys? If your transmission breaks, all those things, it's covered. And then every 2 years picking up a brand new car. And I'll tell you, for you single girls, that'll impress a guy. Let me tell you. When Bill and I were dating, I picked up, I can't remember, my 6th car maybe, it's like, hey, come with me, I'm picking up my free rank car. It's like, really? And go to the car dealership and you just show him your driver's license and sign on a couple lines and you just drive it away. And he was like, nice, yeah. So it's a thing. I'm just telling you, it's a it's a thing. It's an attraction thing. Okay. I'm just messing with you. Oh my gosh, why did I even say that? Okay, so inappropriate. Okay. Yeah, go get one. Yeah. Oh, yes, thank you. Okay, any questions on that so far?
When you make, the last percentage I got was the team leader. So when you do independent sales, is there an increase?
Yes, when you're a sales director, yes, there's all kinds of bonuses at that level. And that's basically your paycheck quadruples or more by being a sales director, of course, because obviously your responsibilities have increased. But it's, to me, thank you, Janice. I cannot imagine doing anything else. But yes, just a couple of them are, so you still get your personal team bonus, and then it's 13% of what your entire unit's wholesale production is. Then it's a 10% bonus starting at 5,000. So when your unit does 5,000, it's an automatic $500 bonus. 6,000, 600, 7,000, and it's just unlimited. Also, the number of your own personal qualified team members, $100 bonus instead of the 50 like the red jacket. Unit qualified, because again, based on company statistics, when someone comes in with a 600 or higher, they've got more stuff to work with. Now, if you didn't come in that way, don't despair. You can build, it's fine, but just be, because you get that extra product, and start you off on an advantage. So because of that, they compensate you for that. So when you have so many qualifieds within the calendar month, that's another bonus. There's star consultant bonuses, there's red jacket bonuses, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's different bonuses throughout the year. There's the opportunity to earn this month, if you increase 13% over last year, extra $500. It's just, Yeah. So
April or May?
April.
How far are we?
We're super close. Oh yes, I know, and we are close. We're very close. At the end of the year, like when you do unit club, a new unit club is $1,000 bonus. When you earn a Cadillac, it's $1,000 bonus. I mean, it's craziness. It's craziness for doing. I mean, I love what I do, and I will tell you, every month when I sit down and set up my online banking bills, I mean, first of all, again, just like we said before, whether it's an eyeliner or a $1,000 bonus is provision from God. But I just think, thank you, God. Like, I get to do what I do. And look, 20 years into it, it still shocks me. 20 years into it, if you saw the sales tickets piled up on my desk right now and the flood of orders, I'm just like, this is craziness. Because I worked hard. I have cleaned hotel rooms. I have worked in food service. I have worked retail. I know what it is to put in a hard day's work. And you know what we do sometimes there's disappointment, sometimes we break a sweat, sometimes a dog barks or a baby screams, but it ain't cleaning toilets at the Super 8 motel. You know what I'm saying? Or cleaning condos, which is physically hard work. Look, we got to do what we got to do. I get that. I'm not, but I'm just saying, for the way we get compensated, you guys, and you know, again, I'm from a retail background, so when I saw those women move up to management, district management, that store owned them. Like, they did not have a life, you know. Sure, they had the title, and I guess they had a salary, but by the time, you know, or like my sister, highly educated woman, and she was in advertising, travel world. She was working 70, 80-hour work weeks, but yeah, she had the big fat salary, but when you broke it down per hour, and the stress and the not having a life, what is that? No, okay? So now, as a sales director, you have the opportunity to develop sales directors. And I will tell you, that is my dream. That is absolutely my dream, is to develop leaders. It's one thing to be a leader, but to be a leader that develops leaders and leads leaders, like that, I mean, that just makes my head spin. And so from there, that's how you become a national sales director. There's different levels of sales director. There's a senior director with 1 offspring. There's a future executive director that has 3 offspring. There's an executive senior director that has 5 offspring. There's an elite executive director that has 8 offspring. And then a national sales director is when you have 10, what's called first line offspring, and at least 8 of those have an offspring director. And here's what I would beg you guys to do. Dream big. I have literally laid on the floor in my office before and just said, God, do not let me think small. Just expand my vision so beyond what, you know, my little insecurities or my little world just tries to keep me. So I know that there's national sales directors sitting here in this room. I know that for a fact. And so it's exciting. It's exciting. The potential is there, you guys. And that's the cool thing about going to some of these bigger events, is you see the women that are successful, old, young, fat, skinny, cute, you know, maybe not as cute. I mean, it's unmatched. I mean, there's no cookie cutter, you know, Latina, African American, white, Asian. I mean, there's no cookie cutter. Boys, yeah. Well, that's another story.
We have
A small
national
percentage,
sales director,
yes.
don't we?
Yeah, from Brazil. Yeah. He's the first man
National sales director.
Mhm. But I mean, it's unlimited, you guys. That is the word that God has dropped into my heart, is He has unlimited resources, unlimited. Anytime you're feeling limited, tap into God, because He is not limited. He owns a cattle on 1,000 hills, and He has more than enough. There's room at the top for all of us, as far as you can see. Run for that, okay?
Okay, you said spirit director was what? How many people?
One or two offspring.
And then the next one would be what?
Future executive
And how many is that?
3.
And then the next one is
Executive senior. And with that, you know, you earn commission off of your unit and then also the offspring units, their production. But again, all of those commissions are paid to us from the company's profit, not out of anybody's pocket or out of their cut.
And how many is executive senior?
5.
And then the next is elite.
8, elite executive. But like Arlene Lenar said, you could become a national by the time you say elite executive future director. I mean, you know, yeah. And then a national.
Oh, that doesn't mean that they're already directing.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I said future. Yeah, the elite executive senior sales director is the elite. And so you'll see when you guys go to the bigger events, you'll see the different, people have different blouses and scarves and things, so you'll know, like, okay, that's who that is, that's who that is. Any questions on that? And let me say this, going back to the car program really quick, that first level of car is the white or the lipstick red Chevy Malibu. And again, on that sheet, hold that up, Janice, for them to see. Right now, the lipstick red is a limited edition.
Yeah, for this year.
You can earn that as a consultant, okay, with a team of 14. The other cars are sales director cars. The level that I'm at is the black Chevy Equinox, or you can choose a black Toyota Camry if you like a sedan. A little bit higher than that is the black BMW, and then it's a Cadillac. And then nationals can choose any kind of pink Cadillac that they want. So that's where you see like the Escalades and those little Barbie, like the Corvette looking one. I mean, I think Kate DeBlander's Cadillac is like a $65,000 car or something crazy like that.
And they put your name on a plaque in this Cadillac.
And let me say this, you can opt for monthly cash compensation. Let's say you drive a car you love, or you have a big family or whatever. The Malibu is $375 a month. The level that I'm at is $550 a month. I'm not sure what the BMW is, maybe $700 or $800 a month. And then the Cadillac, I think, is like $950 a month. So, you know, but like, I'd thump you on the head, like, take the Cadillac. You know, other stuff is fine, but like, take the Cadillac for crying out loud, please. I mean, I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. Okay, any questions about that? So, like, if this has touched your heart in any way, don't be afraid to make a vision board. I have old gold posters from when my Zachary, who's 23, was in 2nd and 3rd grade. And I put the cars on there. I put the red jackets on there. I put, like, in the Victoria's Secret catalog, you know how they have the clothes. There was a lady that had on a red jacket and a white blouse and a black skirt with black pantyhose and black shoes. So I cut her out and I cut her head off and I put my head on that, you know. So, like, so, you know, make a vision board, because one of the most powerful things I learned in my Mary Kay business, you guys, is that we can basically program our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind does not know the difference between reality and not reality. And if we start saying, I sell $300 a week, not I hope to, or I wish I could, or I'm jealous because so-and-so, but I sell $300 a week. I am a red jacket. I am a team leader. I do drive that lipstick red car. My very first car was the red Grand Am. That was the equivalent back then. And I mean, they told you to just, you know, drive down the road and pretend like you're smelling the new car smell. And, you know, I never had a new car. The car that I was driving when I came to Mary Kay, I accidentally opened the door when I was backing out of the garage, and so the door was all ripped up. And so I would drive up to my appointments, and I would purposely pull up so in case they came out to meet me, they wouldn't see my crunched door. You know what I'm saying? And I would pull up in the driveway, and I'd just be like, I'm Arlene Lenars pulling up in my pink Cadillac, and I would just picture this, visualize this whole thing in my head. And you know, I pictured, you know, before I even had one team member, I pictured what it would be like to have my red jacket debut and my director debut. And I'm not elevating myself. I'm just telling you, these are the things that they taught me, and I bought it hook, line, and sinker, and it changed my life, you guys. There's nothing special. I'm, you know, don't call me later. You are special, but there's nothing different about me than you. There's nothing that I have that you don't have. I was just willing to be too dumb to doubt. You know what I'm saying? They said, go do this. And to the best of my ability, I did. Sometimes it turned out crazy, but you know what? At this point, that makes for the most hilarious stories. I could tell you some crazy, crazy stories. I will tell you this, and we're going to move on. You know, in this day and age, we've got three-way phone calls and you know, the ability to do these kinds of things and all of that. But, you know, it wasn't too long ago that I didn't have a cell phone. I earned my first car without a computer, like doing everything on a paper order form with a calculator and dropping things in the FedEx box. You know, I mean, this is old school. But my point is, when you can have this kind of commitment, I booked an interview with somebody in Jay, Florida. Now, I don't know if you guys know where Jay, Florida is, but it's about 3 hours away. No cell phone. At this point, I had my red Grand Am, but I wasn't a sales director. And I drove to Jay, Florida, got to the address using maps, like paper maps to this address. Not only was she not home, but it was an abandoned house. It was the right address, an abandoned house. I drove 3 hours one way, abandoned house, right? Okay, for this to interview this person. I can't remember how I met her. But you know what? At that point, I had experienced enough great things in my Mary Kay business. I knew, and I turned around and I turned up praise music and I praised God the whole 3 hours back home. And when you can have that kind of mentality, instead of, I didn't get, why didn't this turn out how I wanted it to? And you just show up. You just show up and look, I get it. I pay my mortgage every month through my Mary Kay, and I have for well over a decade. So I'm not saying, well, if you make something, no big deal. But Mary Kay told us to take the dollar signs out of our eyes, show up to serve and love, and yeah, sharpen our skills and do it right. And man, when we're given that kind of just energy and flow, it comes. And you know, when it doesn't come, it's okay, because then you can stand in front of a room full of people and say, you know, I drove 6 hours in a day, and who cares? I praise the Lord. And 8 cars later, who even is that lady? I don't even remember her name, right? But I remember the experience because I chose to praise. And again, just choosing to be in gratitude and praise and thanks. Man, that, again, we can't earn God's grace and favor, but holy cow. You know, I give the example of my kids. You know, if I say, hey, here's ice cream. I don't like that flavor. Is that all you're going to give me? I wish I would have had a bigger ice cream. You know what I mean? You'll be like, I'm not doing anything for, you know, I'm not motivated, you know. But if it's like, hey, let me do ice, you know, because like before, hey, we'll go through McDonald's. Well, I want TCBY. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, but if it's, hey, let me treat you to an ice cream. Oh, thank you, Mom. Oh my gosh, thank you for treating us. This is so special. Like, that just motivates me, like, oh, what else can I do for you little cutie pies, right? And it, you know, I mean, think about it. Think about it. So when it's just like this, you know, sometimes maybe God wants us to learn to be grateful for what we do have. Does that make sense? And then we'll be given more, and then we'll have abundance. Okay, I want to switch gears. How are we doing so far? Have I questions? Because you guys, this is a skills-based business. Seriously. You get out that party pack, you learn how to open your party, you learn how to close your party, you show sets, you go to your party. You go to your party to sell skincare sets, get referrals and bookings, and look for who your talent is. Who's your star quarterback? You know, your Nick Saban looking for your, or whoever you're excited about besides Nick Saban. I don't know who's the Auburn coach now. I don't even know. I'm sorry. But Nick Saban is just a famous recruiter, so that's why I use that example. So don't shut down if that's not your team. Okay. Okay. Oh, is he? I thought he left. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm starting SEC rumors now. Okay, focus. My point is, the sales will happen, and the skills will sharpen. But and if we're operating in just gratitude and just open and service, it's just gonna flow. And even when it's not your favorite, call me. We'll talk it through. Dust yourself off and pick back up, and the next one's gonna be great. Okay, and again, sometimes like I'll call a list of 20 people and nothing, and then all of a sudden someone will hit my website and order $100. You see what I'm saying? So you put the effort in it comes back to you. It just might not come from where, you know, I drove to Jay, Florida, but now I have a unit of 150 people. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, y'all are with me.
Got it.
Okay. All right, I want to spend this last little bit of time talking about seminar.
You were gonna say something about Star.
Oh, thank you. Real quick, the Star Consultant program. Thank you, Chantel. We did the breakdown yesterday. Are you cold? Turn it down. Turn it. Fix it. It is cold. Yeah. Fix it. It's just it got hot in here for a second, but okay. Star Consultant. Here's the first thing. Every time you hear Star Consultant, I want you to or see it in the Applause magazine. I want you to go, this is for me. This is for me. Because I remember that feeling of seeing some of the things and thinking, oh, that's for whoever. Say Star Consultant, this is for me. Because again, Mary Kay said the 2 tracks to run on were hitch your wagon to a star. So find somebody in the business that you can relate to and say, if she can do it, I can do it too. And then have a track to run on. And the Star Consultant program is our track to run on. And I gave the breakdown last time, but the very first level is 1,800 wholesale within the quarter. And this is important, you guys. The quarter that we're in right now ends June 15th. You guys have an eternity to become a star by the end of June. I think on my pin, I think I've been a star like almost 70 times now. I mean, it's in the high 60s.
So you get 4 months to put in 1,800?
It's by the quarter. No, that's all right. It's 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it, and this is a little, don't yawn.
That's cool.
I know. She doesn't like details, but the reason they do this, the star quarter half month, is so that the quarter end and month end don't land at the same time. Otherwise, it would just create this quagmire. So the way the quarter runs, just write this down. This quarter started March 16th. So it's mid-March to mid-April, mid-April to mid-May, mid-May to mid-June. There's your 3 months. Okay, but that's what gets confusing. It's not calendar month, but they had to do it that way. Otherwise, quarter end and month end would land, and it would just create a mess. We wouldn't get our orders for 3 weeks.
So if you did $450 each month, would you be on track for that?
No, it would be
600?
600 wholesale every month. You would be on track for that. So that's where you're. And let me see this: the key to any goal, either a strong month or a strong quarter, is to put lots of effort in as soon as you can at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this still is pretty much like close to the beginning. We still have quite a bit of time, but if you click your head off and say, I have a lot of time, I'll worry about that later, then all of a sudden you're getting the notices that the quarter's almost over and you're like, oh, what have I done? So that's where being in action, 30 faces quick as you can right now, I would double dog dare you to do 30 faces and not be close to hitting star by June 15th, okay? It's something, again, that I personally, I mean, I've missed a few quarters, but not many. Within 20 years, it's an important thing to shoot for because it's a consistency. And at that point, when you're hitting that and you're splitting your money properly, again, we did the breakdown, it's basically 600 in your pocket and 600 in wholesale orders 3 months in a row. I mean, how many of you guys would be excited if you were profiting $600 from your Mary Kay business every month? And that's the weeks. I know, bless you, you're trying so hard to hang with me. And that's where you want to get familiar and in touch with my business and reports. That way you can go in there and see exactly where you are. But if you don't know, if you can't find it or you need help or whatever, call me. I love those kind of questions. I need to figure out where I am for star. Help me with a plan because I can help you break it down, what you have in, like, because you got to be on track.
Because I've calculated like my wholesale and like from my slips and stuff, and it's saying one number, but on my in-type thingy, it's saying like estimated whatever, and it's less than what I'm calculating.
Well, you might be looking at the action items that is showing you for the calendar month. See, you placed your initial order in March. So it counted in the quarter, but you're looking at the wrong
report. For the month, like I've calculated it and it's still off.
Okay.
But
We'll have
that
to
doesn't
look at it.
include section 2, does it?
It's just your
Yeah,
wholesale.
Yeah.
It's not your
It's
total.
just products.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The wholesale cost of the product. We'll look at it.
Okay.
We'll look at it. We'll look at it. Okay, so 1,800 is the first level. That's Sapphire, and that's where you get a pin from the company. You get more referrals from the company. Your website comes up more often if they're searching for consult. If someone comes in and searches your zip code, you get to pick a prize. But that's 1,800 is Sapphire. That's first level. Then there's 2,400 is Ruby in the quarter. Diamond is 3,000, Emerald is 3,600, Pearl is 4,800. And again, there's the poster back there. There's little packets on the counter that you guys can take that breaks it all down. But here's the thing that I forgot to tell you. Once you do your own 1,800 wholesale, okay, you have to do that yourself. Your team building isn't going to help you get to that 1,800 wholesale. But once you do that, any qualified team members that you have in the quarter, meaning they come in with a 600, bumps you up a prize category and a stone category. So, Janice says her 18. She has 2 team members that each did 600. You're going to be a diamond star. You get to pick from the diamond star prize category. You get a diamond star. I forgot to tell you that your qualified team members bump you up a level. So, yeah. So take the packet. So again, if you're still kind of, I don't understand, just put yourself in action. We'll look at your reports, get that little thing, and make that star consultant thing on your vision board, okay? Be like an Olympic athlete, and that they put their time all over the place, what they want to hit. Well, a star consultant is averaging $300 weeks in retail sales. Now, of course, we got a little catching up to do, but again, if we crank it out in the next 20, 25 days, then that overflow, those people are going to give you referrals, there's going to be reorders, and that's going to flood over to help you rock it. You with me? I know, this is why it's boot camp, because I know this is a lot, yes, but are you all with me? Because I got one more thing to talk about. Okay, seminar. There's really not adequate words to explain to you the importance of seminar and what seminar is, but I'm going to try. Other companies have trainings and seminars and things, but our seminar is so special, and it's 20 years of Mary Kay. I've gone every single year, from consultant to sales director. I've gone every single year. It is not, let me tell you what it's not. It's not a vacation. It's not a field trip. And if that's what you want, then go do something. And I'm not saying, but because there's expense involved, it is truly an investment in your future and in your business. And I want to give you the breakdown. And just like with the career path, I hope and pray, my prayer is that nobody listened to that career path stuff and went, that's not for me. It's for all of us. All of us should have a team of some size, because that's our ability to lead and influence. Leadership is influence, you guys. Whether it's a big team or a little team. Seminar is for all of us. And I want you to think, I don't want you to shut your brain off and go, well, next year. Because I want you guys by my side, really. I was thinking about this the other day. I looked at them and I'm like, you're going to Dallas, just so you know. They're like, okay. Okay. But so let me give you the breakdown. First of all, the dates are July 25th. Now, of course, this is Diamond. Okay, I don't know who if y'all are Diamond or not.
No idea.
Okay, there's different dates. So ask your director, and she'll tell you if your dates are different than ours. Oh, I was like, what is that? Okay, July 25th. July 25th through the 29th. Okay. July 25th through the 29th. Those are our dates this year, which I'm really excited. That's great. It's not too early in the month. It's not too late in the month. I'm really pumped about that. All right.
So they do it based on your level, your team does, on Mary's level.
It's really not a level. It's the company is broken up right this second into 5 different divisions, just because
I was curious.
we couldn't all get there at the same time. There'd be too many, because as it is, when we go, it's gonna be like 10,000 people. So I mean, they had to just break it up. So I don't want to get bogged down. Anyway, it's broken up into different divisions, and it's not geographical. It's based by national sales directors areas. So like our national is Mary Beisel. She has people all over the United States, and they kind of know the average of how many national sales directors, how many people they have in their area, and it's kind of broken up to try to keep those divisions of the company even with people. So
I think mine is Pam Shaw. Have you ever heard of Pam?
oh yes, she is like a rock star. Yeah.
Okay.
But she's not diamond. I want to say she's maybe emerald. I'm not sure. But but she is phenomenal. Oh my gosh. Okay, why go to seminar? First of all, you go and you are educated and trained by the top people in the company. And again, you will hear everything from people who come from a corporate background to people who literally were living in a shed behind someone's house. And they will tell you everything they know on how they became successful. The most important thing, one of the most important things to me, is you will meet our Mary Kay family. Mary Beisel is like, she's like a mom to me. I mean, she has literally mothered me. And her offspring sales directors are my sisters. And a lot of those consultants are like family to me. And you guys, if you go, you will feel that connection with them. They're from all over the United States. And a lot of these women, I have done 20 years of my life, basically my whole adult life with these women, their families, their husbands. And we get to really get to know them and spend time with them and get training and have our lives spoken into by these people. You of course will receive training on building your team, on products, what's coming out new. For your registration, you will get now what they're doing is a product credit, so that you can order any product you want for that amount after the event, which is kind of cool. They used to give you a box of product there, but I guess they figured traveling and all that it's easier. But I think the most important thing is you catch a vision of, because here we are in Foley, Alabama, right? And it's easy, to be in this little small area and to let that smallness creep in and make you be small. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I mean, I know some of you girls like Aretha coming from Atlanta and Monica coming from Los Angeles, and not knocking, Chantel coming from California. I love this area. Like, I pursued this area. I wanted to raise my family here. And this area is growing by leaps and bounds. But I heard great book that you guys can read, Mark Batterson's The Circle Maker. If you've never heard of that book, it's a fabulous book. But he talks about how it's so healthy and so good several times a year to totally get out of your own 4 walls and your own perspective and just step out of that and have people that you can trust speak into your life and show you your potential. And that's what this does. And it's literally transformed my life. The very first seminar I went to, my dad drove me to, the Minneapolis airport and put me on a plane. And by the time I got there, I was crying. I was motion sick, and I was, but because I didn't know anybody, I was just like, woo. And Mary went ahead for a director meeting. So I was just like, I'd never flown by myself before. I was just like wrecked. But we all traveled together. And that's probably, again, why I heard all of us. I'm like, okay, we're all going to go to the bathroom, But, you will be with, right? Chantel knows. So basically, schedule at a glance. And again, you guys can go on your InTouch site under events, Seminar 2015. There's a video. All of this is there. We will travel the 25th. The last few years, we've been just driving. If you don't want to drive, you can fly. If it's hard on your body or whatever, that's not going to hurt my feelings. But we all caravan in a couple few cars because it's just so much cheaper to split the gas. And then we have the benefit of having our cars there instead of, there's free shuttle buses for everything when you get there, but there's lines and everything. And it's just kind of fun to go, oh, sorry, excuse us, we're gonna get in our car. So it's about a 10-hour drive. But it's worth it. And of course we have just, epic playlists and all that good stuff. But so the 25th we'll drive. We get there that night. We just go get some good Mexican food and go back to the hotel and go to bed. Now we go to the Hyatt, which if you've ever seen the Dallas skyline, it's the hotel with the big revolving restaurant at the top, and that's where Mary's banquet is. One night, and it's just incredible. You get to watch the sunset over the Dallas skyline, and it's just a precious time. The next day we'll get up and you get to tour the manufacturing plant and our corporate headquarters, and that is really, really special. The bottom level of corporate is the Mary Kay Museum. That is just, you get to see our heritage, and it is incredible. And you get to, see Mary Kay's office. They've preserved it, and you get to see the corporate people's offices and tour the building. And the whole building, the building's pink. It has 13 floors, and it's just class act all the way. And then it's fun to go to the manufacturing plant because a lot of cosmetic companies are like high-end and drugstore are kind of made in the same facility and those kinds of things, but we are totally separate from any of that. And a lot of our corporate employees and our manufacturing plant employees have been with Mary Kay 10, 15, 20, 25 years. So they take huge pride. Like they love, like we walk through and they clap for us, and we're like, thank you. And they're like, no, thank you. I mean, it's just this really cool thing, They have the red carpet and they give us pink lemonade. It's really cool because without them, we wouldn't have a job, and without us, they wouldn't have a job. And so it's like this once-a-year reunion that we get to just thank each other and be in each other's space. Then that night is usually Mary does at the hotel, and again, the hotel's incredible, and there's a Starbucks in the lobby, but I mean, it's first class.
And there's always a line,
so that's why I bring Bill, because he goes down early and gets me my coffee. But that night, Mary usually does a meet and greet where she treats us to pizza and salad in a little, it's not a little room, but a beautiful room in the hotel where it's kind of sundresses and a little not as dressy. And again, you really get to meet people who are your family, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're in Cathy's unit." It's really cool. Then the next day, there's an opening ceremony that will blow your ever-loving mind. If you've ever been to it's like Broadway, Miss America, just any huge production type of thing that you could imagine. It's just this opening that makes you feel so proud, and you realize this worldwide company that you're a part of. And again, you'll hear from the top people at corporate and the top nationals and all of that, top directors. There's going to be education breakout classes based on your level of where you are. Beauty consultants, red jackets, everybody breaks out for education. But again, I'm like, okay, you guys here, and we'll meet back at blah blah. We're just texting like crazy. And then that night, the next night is Mary Beisel's banquet night, and that's where the Mary Kay year ends June 30th, and that's where if you land with 20,000 retail or 12 team members, you'll be recognized at Mary's night. But our unit always gets special love that night. And again, that night is at the top of the reunion tower at the Hyatt. And 20 years of my life, that's been like next to Christmas, like one of the highlights of my year is that night. And like the last couple, she's had a DJ and stuff like that, but it's special. It's really special because we really get loved on. Mary loves all her people, but she really loves us. I'm just saying. Okay. Sorry if any of my sister directors watch this. Okay. Okay. Then it's more education classes the next day, education breakout, and then it's the awards night. Well, they've been doing it earlier in the day, which is pretty nice because it used to go to like 1 in the morning, and you're like, this is exciting, but oh my gosh. And this is like the Academy Awards. Anytime you've ever seen the red carpet stuff and the celebrities and everything. And look, if you don't have a fancy dress, we'll get you a fancy dress and put you in a fancy dress, okay? We beg, borrow, steal, consignment shop, switch, swap, trade. I mean, I borrowed dresses. Everything I wore last year, I borrowed from Courtney Isbell. So do not feel like you have to have a big fancy wardrobe for this at all. But this year's a little bit special because they open the awards with the Go Give Award, the National Go Give Award. So your director is going to be walking across the stage with 11 other ladies, and one will be crowned for the whole thing. Now, it's going to be stiff competition. Like some of these women, they'll be like, and she started an orphanage in Uganda. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that I'll be the queen.
We are your orphanage.
Yeah. but I mean, it's going to be like, you know, I mean, it's going to be like cancer survivors and people that have lost children. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it could happen that I would be the queen of it, but I'm just saying there's going to be some really quality people up there. Just to be on that stage is going to be a huge deal. So, like, I got to have y'all there. And I'm buying a dress for that. Let me tell you, we're going to go dress shopping. Okay, so that's going to open it, but then it's everything from National Court of Sales, Unit Club. That's like the really high achieving, and then they end that award ceremony with the top director of the whole, the queen of the whole thing, and she'll give a speech and sit. And at each thing, there's a queen, and she sits on the throne and gives a speech and stuff. And even though that's like an award show, I always have a paper and pen because sometimes the things that they say on the throne, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. And again, you will see people going in a walker. You will see girls that are in college. I mean, you will see everything, and that's what's so inspiring. I mean, you just see it all. There's no cookie cutter thing that you have to be to succeed. It's really precious. So, and then the final day is the closing ceremony, and that's always really special to me because the top 3 directors of the entire seminar give speeches. And again, you think, speeches, these, like, you are on the edge of your seat listening to the life experiences, the wisdom, the everything that they pour into you. It's life-changing. It's life-changing. And then it ends at noon on the 29th, and we leave right from there and drive home. So we get home late. We get home like at midnight on the 29th. Attire during the day is, you all are all going to be in your red jackets. So red jacket, white blouse, black skirt, or flowy skirt, long skirt, whatever you got to do. But it's meeting attire, business attire during the day. And then, like, when we go out, the first night we go out for Mexican, we just go out, you know, not like this, but, you know, in whatever, little pants or, you know, something cute that night. And then again, Mary's night is kind of more cute sundress type things. And then the next night's kind of after 5, and then the awards is the dressy. But we will, you don't have a dress, we will get you a dress. Right? Chantel's been before, so she knew, you don't have a dress, we will get you a dress. Okay. Am I missing anything important? I mean, I know that's just,
Yeah.
okay, the cost, yay, that's the whole point. Hello, gosh, duh. Okay, all right, the cost is staggered, okay, meaning you don't have to do it all at once. But the registration's coming up, and the reason you gotta really engage your brain on this is because there's a possibility they'll sell out. 2 years ago, it totally sold out within like 24 hours.
No, not even that. As soon as they opened it up,
It
was
sold out.
Remember? I had to be on the waiting list.
Yes.
It was sold as soon as it opened up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
so,
the 50th anniversary one.
So yeah, so you guys need, like, in prayer and engaging your brain on this. Okay. And okay, so the registration, I'm sorry, I had this all. Sorry, give me just a second here. Okay, registration is $195, and a Diamond opens May 14th.
Now, is it like the same like every year? If you were like a star consultant, you get to do early registration or nothing like that. It starts at May 14th. Okay.
If you went to a career conference, it's $195. New beauty consultant agreements after March 16th, it's $195. And then it's $225 for all other Salesforce members, and then on site it's $250, but there's not going to be no on site. It's going to sell out. Okay. Now for your $195 or your $225, you're going to get a product credit that you will get back in product that you can sell. That covers several of your meals. That covers several of your meals as well. That $195 covers several of your breakfasts and lunches.
And it's wonderful going to those.
Yeah, the way they feed us.
It's like cafeteria style.
Well,
You meet people. It's like,
and we got our work cut out for us, but they have special seating for Cadillac units, and they get special stuff. So interesting. Okay, so here's the important thing. You can register, and if you need to cancel for some reason, you have until June 22nd to cancel and get your full money back.
Wow.
But if for some reason you register and you have to cancel, don't
cancel.
Someone's going to take your spot.
Yeah.
Someone will buy your spot from you. But I'm just saying, if you're like, I don't know, blah, 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 like, do it. And basically sell $400 quick as you can and take your profit aside. Go do 15 faces in a couple weeks and set your profits aside and pay for it. We've got time. You have time to do that, you guys. Okay. Then there is the hotel. If you have 4 women in a room, and I'm going to bring Bill, God willing, unless his work schedule does something squirrely. But like we stay together, our people stay together. So I sign roomies and all that good stuff. I'm again,
Mama hen.
So it's basically $50 a night when you're because it's the hotel room is about $200 a night, but when you're splitting it 4 ways, it's $50 a night. Now there is a deposit due mid-June. So each of the roommates would need to make that $50 deposit. You got to pay for one room, 1 night stay mid-June. And then the rest of it you won't have to pay for it until we go in July. So that's the other stagger. So about $200 registration, May 14th. Mid-June, you're going to need $50 for your deposit for your hotel room. And then you're also going to need to kick $45 to Mary for her banquet, Mary's night. So again, these are things that you can, if you're selling and setting aside profits right now. And again, the whole trip is a complete tax write-off. Okay?
The hotel is $50 deposit, make $50 for
3 more nights.
For
Yeah.
3 more nights.
Yeah, for 3 more nights. Because that deposit will pay for 1 of your nights. And then you've got $150 that you pay in July. Exactly. So basically, your other expenses is gas money, which, I mean, I usually try to estimate high, like $70 a person, but it usually ends up being more like 50 or 60 per person, because again, we all pile into a couple cars and drive together. And parking at the hotel, you need to, per car, you need to make sure that you set aside.
And that's $10, isn't it?
No, it's higher than that. It was, well, I'm sorry, for the total parking, it was like $112 for parking, so it ended up being $28 per person for the whole time. And then really, I'm gonna say you're gonna need maybe another $100 just for incidental, like, cause you know, you pay for your meals on the road. And then, you know, like that first night out, we get Mexican. So, you know, you're just going to need probably another $100 for wiggle room. So $200 for your registration, basically $200 for your hotel deposit and stay. So there's $400 right there.
Mary's night 50.
Mary's night 50. You know, so if you had about 600, 650 total, you know, that's just, because you're not going to spend money and shop and sightsee. You're going there to learn and soak in and be focused.
We all bring like snacks and stuff for like the hotel room and the cars and stuff. So I mean, we all join in together with that stuff. And if you no potty breaks on the drive.
I'm just kidding. You know, you can totally go to potty. But any questions? And of course, if you want to bring your man, your hotel doubles, you know, because you're not sharing with girls. Any questions?
I missed something. Sorry, there was. I got the best in math.
No, 200 for your registration, 200 for your hotel. Let's say $50 for gas, $50 for Mary's banquet. So there's $500 right there, and another $150 just to make sure you know your extra meals on the road, and just to make sure you've got a little coffee. Make sure you bring parking. Your parking, So really $650, $700 to be safe.
So you're not gonna have to do. We're not gonna have to do what we did last year because Mary wasn't national. She's not gonna have an extra thing for her directors like she did last year.
But I'm gonna figure that out. I don't know when it is right
Okay,
now.
all right,
So because we left in the middle of the
we
night.
left at midnight
Yeah. But,
last year.
any questions? Promise me you guys will do this. Prayerfully consider this. As you listen to it, I want you to say, this is for me. I need to prayerfully consider this and start setting aside a little bit from every sale. And try really hard to get kids squared away and get elderly parents squared away. And because everybody in this room is somebody that I would really love to experience this. Okay?
And I'll tell you guys something. My first year I went, I saved $5 a day. $5 a day. And I was able to go and I had extra money.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to figure that out to see how much that's going to be from here to then. But I mean, I'm going no matter what.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, you said registration's at $225 or it's $195 if you're a new consultant between
After March
because
16th.
I think I'm coming to my deadline.
Oh, okay. So
I'm wondering if is the $25 renewal one for that $195 or not?
We'll do some finagling.
Because if I need to do the whole new thing, I'll do the whole new thing.
Okay.
Because I just went now.
Okay. Any other questions? Tell me honestly what your guys' thoughts are.
I like it about to explode. Like, I'm so excited.
Okay. Good.
It's fun.
I would like to go.
Yeah.
I would like to get those with the birds.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I understand it's a lot to absorb.
Yes.
I want to go, but since I'm going to my mission trip and taking a little over a week off of work, and it's in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Kind of not gonna work with
Yeah.
my job,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Just be prayerful about it at this
You
point.
never know.
You don't have to make any decisions. Yeah, you don't have to make any decisions. You could be like, Mom, I need you to pick up the slack for me. Don't show that to Ellen. Okay. Any questions? Okay. I want you to go to bed tonight just thinking like, and Eliza can give us a dance lesson and we'll all dance and it's just be fabulous. Okay. All right. Well, engage your brain, because another really great way that you can earn recognition at seminar is, you know, there's big recognition, but all of us can earn this Paint the Town Red challenge, and that's something that everybody can get recognition for. This is everything March 1st through June 30th. So again, we still have plenty of time to earn this, you guys. That's where, when you have 3 new qualified team members, so they started with a 600 or higher, you're going to get a name badge ribbon, which I know some of you don't know what that means, but it's a big deal. Like, you want ribbons. Name badge ribbon, and you're going to be invited to a mingle, and you will pick up your new red jacket for free. God bless you. You get a free red jacket in the new style, and you get to pick it up there at the mingle. 4 new personal qualifieds. Again, you'll have till June 30th to do this. You get all of that plus the black and white scarf. 5 new, you get all of that and the scarf and the clutch. You get that red clutch. So that's something that all of us can do. Okay. And the special Cadillac dining area. Okay.
They gotta put, you gotta have 3 qualified team members put in $600 within that time frame.
No,
or
start
within a month.
their first order. Their
Has to
first
be
order.
600.
Mhm.
So none of your team members that you have now would count. Any team members that you've newly signed now won't count.
Oh yeah, no, they
With
will.
the town red.
Yeah, anybody from
600 on their first order. then.
yeah, but anybody now through June 30th. I mean, even not including the team members you have right now. If you got 3 new and they all started with 600 from today to June 30th.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty much. The next time we'll train on. I really wanted to talk about the DISC, and that'll be Bootcamp 3 personalities. But for right now, I can tell you the best resource to learn the 4 main personality types, learn yourself and learn others, is the book called Personality Plus by Florence Littauer. If you want better relationships in all areas of your life, not just business, your friends, your family, your mom, your dad, your significant other, your kids, read that book. The book has the test where you can test yourself. You can test others that'll sit still and let you test them. And again, that is, they always say a baby doesn't come with a manual in the hospital. That is the manual to unlock understanding yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, and understanding others' strengths and weaknesses, and then learning how to determine what you are, what they are, and then relate with them on a level that when you communicate, it clicks. The communication is there and it clicks. Fabulous. That book, that's one of my, in the pink Cadillac trunk, I just want to hand out to people because it is like the manual to relationships, that book. So that'll be Bootcamp 3.
And in Bootcamp 3, you're gonna do the cell phone things. Remember we talked about it?
Yeah, the reminders on the cell phone and all that. But we can, yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
It was by Florence too.
Littauer, I think it's Littauer. It's one of the best books. One of the best books. And let me say this regarding resources. I'm so impressed and so proud of Janice. She went out and got a book, a Bobby Brown book and a Robert Jones book on makeup application and techniques. And that is it's so brilliant. And look, if y'all are feeling like, help, I don't know what I'm doing, like there are so many great resources out there and YouTube tutorials. I posted something about a few weeks ago. I'll try to pin it or whatever, but Rosie Rodriguez is my sister director from McAllen, Texas. She's been in Mary Kay 25 years, classiest, most beautiful woman you could ever lay eyes on. It's crazy. But her daughter is one of the top 10 makeup artists that's followed on Instagram. And if you like her page, I mean, she uses all brands, MAC and Urban Decay and all of that. But watching her little makeup tutorials, I picked up something the other day. I clicked on her little video. It was a short little video. I'm like, totally, never even thought about that. So just watching those little tutorials, I don't know, I'm a real visual person. And instead of just looking at something, if I see something 3D, it really clicks.
What's her name?
Her name is Catherine Rodriguez. It's Kat, K-A-T, Rodriguez. But if you go to, I'll try to post it so that you can find her. But or if you, I don't know, well, she's on Facebook and Instagram. But her tutorials are just, they're just fabulous. I mean, she's just fabulous with product. You know, foundations, eye looks, all of it. Yeah. And just watching those little tutorials give me confidence, you know, to watch that. So there you go. Okay, real quick, feedback. What did you get? What? Anything? Feedback. What did you get from that?
That's gonna be good.
What'd you say, Naomi?
I said I want it all.
I want it all. Yay! Why not? Why not? Yes, please, Lord, in Jesus' name. I love it. Yes.
I understand the different levels better, I guess, like the goals or whatever.
Good. The career path stuff. Good. Good. Does it like kind of pump you up? Good. 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 Okay. How about you? Yeah. Well, and that's why this is boot camp, because this isn't normal to cram.
You are telling me more here than I've heard in the last 6 weeks since I got into this, because the woman, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, but
I'm not learning anything.
oh well, you're in the right place. Yay! Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Sarah, anything?
Oh man, I'm just mulling it all over my
Yeah.
head. There's just so much to take in. But,
It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's okay. Some of us are thinkers and some of us are talkers. So if you're processing, that's okay.
I will say, like, what helped me, even like I started reading her book,
Yes.
and that is just like also
Yeah.
helped
Oh,
just
very
break
good.
it down.
Yes.
Oh, I'm about 3/4 of the way, and it's
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Good.
Really, you know, just and she, even though she's amazing, you know, but she was still human and like had her, you know, but
Yeah.
just reading it and like just feel like you're there. And
It's inspiring.
Yes.
Yeah. It
And
changed my life reading
definitely
her book
motivating.
in my early 20s. Sure did. Aretha. Yeah, it is. And that's all right. Look. And let me say this, because again, some of us are thinkers and we have to think to process. Anytime you feel overwhelmed, say to yourself, what is my next right step? And remember this, chasing faces takes you places. So who can I get some product on their face and sharpen my skills? Janice, how about you?
Just the steps of it.
Did that help?
It did.
Eliza?
Same as Janice. I've never really understood the structure.
And did I help? Okay, good. And get you all some of those steps to success brochures and get you a couple so that you can have them as your visual. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye. Love you. Woo! Rock it. Everybody yell for us.